And here we go. Good old Gabriel Knight. Of course, we need to listen to the intro. Can't start the game without listening to the awesome intro to it. If I saw that in the wild Zelda, I wouldn't think that it's a freaking router. I would really think that it's something completely different. So I do agree, it being the ugliest for packaging for a router. Have you played the 20th anniversary version before? This one is still the best one. I was about to say, Zelda can play this. Damn, I should have worn my Gabriel Knight shirt. Yeah, we heard it already, but never hurts to listen to it again. Director Jane Jensen. Is it good? You played the game. You know that the book is good. I mean, it's written by Jane Jensen herself, so... There are some things that are different from the game, of course, because you can't do puzzles in a book. But the way that they wrote it makes sense, and it's really good. And you get a lot more insight of Gabriel and all. But this novel is good. Featuring the voices of Tim Curry, right there. Mark Hamill, yep. Leah Remini, yep. That's Grace. If you can find this, and Michael Dorn. I forgot that Michael Dorn. If you can find this, you'll be very lucky because I don't think this is an easy book to find. I got this from my friend. He somehow had this. And I was like, wow, you got the book of this? And he was like, you want it? Hell yeah. I mean, if you can find this anywhere, I bet this will cost a lot of money. And it's still in a pretty good condition. It's been a long time since I read this book. I should read it again at some point. Apparently this cost $6 US back in the day. I dreamt of blood upon the shore, of eyes that spoke of sin. The lake was smooth and deep and black as furs, and her scented skin. The same text, right at the first chapter. In the game, it's day 1. In the book, it's chapter 1. June 18th, 1993, New Orleans.
I bet. Just a minute. It lives, I see. Do you want to speak with Lolita?
I'm sorry, Gabriel's allowed. I mean,
sorry,
he's out.
But Gabriel is allowed. Oh, I mean, he's out. Yeah,
I remember
if he
these
ever
lines.
comes back, I'll tell him. You know, you could do better. I know I don't know you, but you could do better. Sure. Bye-bye. Good morning.
Hey,
Your
Grace.
phone's been ringing off the hook all morning. Let me know when you want your messages. Gee, you're lively. Did you have another nightmare last night?
Sort of.
I told you it's that voodoo book you're researching. That stuff can seriously screw up your karma.
I'm sure that's it. Maybe I should write a horror novel on passive resistance instead.
So don't sleep. It's your body. Anyway, your handheld tape recorder came today.
Really? Great.
I can't wait to see what human rights you violate with this one.
I can't wait to violate them. For example, if you would just let me...
And I located some local voodoo references for you. Dixieland Drugstore and the Historical Museum of Voodoo. Both are right here in French Quarter.
How would I ever manage without you?
You? Give me a break. The devil himself couldn't change you.
Well, if the devil had great legs, perhaps. Like yours.
And a riveting personality, I'm sure. Well, if you need any more research done, just ask. It's not as though we're swamped with customers.
And first and foremost, narrator voice off. Text only, thank you. If people don't remember what the narrator voice sounds like, here's an example. What sound card were you using this time? It sounds different somehow. I'm just misremembering from last time you played it. I couldn't get the MT32 to work. It just, the Scum VM kept crashing. Like it kept saying that there was a problem with one of the MT32 ROMs. And I even changed them to ones that I know that work, but it still kept crashing, so this is just default adlib. I mean, I know that the MT32 works for the game, but for some reason my ROMs are not working. But do you guys want to hear one of the worst, in my opinion, one of the most annoying and worst narrators in a video game?
St. George Books could use some serious renovation, but Gabriel likes to think that the place has character.
mean, I got nothing against the actress who voices the narrator. But holy shit, is that Jamaican accent heavy. If I didn't have the text there, I probably wouldn't understand half of what she's saying with that accent. Not to mention she's slow. Like, slow. 20th anniversary edition of this any good? Yeah, alright. I never played the game through, but I played pretty far. Like to day 5, I think. That's the furthest I played the game, but then it bugged out on me and I never played it again. I mean, the game, I played it early, like when the game had just launched, and it was buggy as hell. It's good, it's not bad, but it's something that I'm wondering why they did it in the first place. Yep, I also wonder that too, because it's completely an unnecessary remake. It doesn't really add anything to the original story. It takes some stuff from the book, from the novelization of the game. It takes some stuff from there and changes some of the puzzles that were in the original game. But it's still, it's like, eh. And also the person who portrays Gabriel is kind of like, eh. It just doesn't feel Gabriel Knight. I mean, he's missing something. He's not a bad actor, but he's just missing that something. I don't know. Just doesn't feel right. And I don't think the guy's accent is any better than Tim Curry's when it comes to New Orleans accent. Dramatic, isn't it? Gabriel didn't eat for 3 weeks after splurging on that coat. He has a thing for black leather.
Don't mind if I do.
Do what?
Oh, nothing. So, what's new, Grace?
Your use of mathematics, for one thing. These books are unbelievable.
What can I say? I refuse to be bound by rules.
The strap marks on your bedpost speak otherwise.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
What can you tell me about voodoo?
What can you tell me about voodoo?
I didn't know much of anything about it until you started researching it for your book. Now I know that it's active in the city. There's that shop and museum. It can clearly be dangerous in the wrong hands. You should be careful investigating it.
Tell me, chat. What can you tell me about voodoo? Or better yet, do you know anything about the 4 voodoo?
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Just what I read in the paper, same as you.
You also do this in this game, Eldritch, that you give everybody that arrow hat, or they have a chimney on their head. Just expecting smoke to come on underneath. Especially after talking to Gabriel a lot. You would think that they would start stealing.
What can you
Hey,
tell
Dimmer.
me about New Orleans?
Well, I've only been here 2 months, but I love it. It's so much more alive than any place I've been. It feels like anything's possible here.
I also like it with the how the conversation worked, that whenever you talked about some topic, it goes darker, which means that no need to talk about this anymore. I actually know quite a bit about voodoo. How about hoodoo? Know anything about that? Voodoo must be a 3D FX thing.
Tell me about yourself, Grace.
Yeah, right, Knight.
I mean it.
What do you want to know?
How come we haven't gone out yet?
I'm still waiting around for that lobotomy. As soon as I get it, I'll let you know.
How do you like working at St. George's Books?
Well, it's not exactly a huge intellectual challenge. Although the math in your record books could confuse Einstein. Still, I love old books, and it's a nice way to pay the bills while I explore the city for a summer. If you ever pay me, that is.
If that triangle was green and a little blue and had an eye in the middle, they would be members of BIM. And nobody wants to be members of BIM. Trust me. After Hurricane Katrina, a lot of Louisiana residents moved to my area. I dated a girl who was into it pretty seriously. Also, I'll be right back. This doesn't feel right. Just doesn't feel right playing Gabriel Knight if I don't have the right shirt for it. There, much better. Right? I got his face right here. I also got the medallion shirt.
What do you do after work?
Well, I either go to my oil painting class or my Tai Chi. You know that.
You know, you can go overboard with this improving yourself stuff. You don't want to alienate us mere mortals.
I suppose I should just allow my mind and body to atrophy.
Works for me. How old are you?
Old enough to know about men like you.
Just tell me anything at all.
I just got my master's in history and classics. My folks wanted me to go on right away for my PhD, but 18 years of school was enough. I needed a break.
Just tell me anything at all.
I came to New Orleans because I'd read so much about it and I thought, spending a few months here would clear my head.
Just tell me anything at all.
I've always wanted to do something really adventurous, Something real life. I'm sick of libraries and lecture halls.
So now you're in a bookstore that is failing.
Just tell me anything.
Adventurous life.
My folks are traditional Japanese. I don't even remember Japan myself. I was 3 when we came to the States.
Just tell me anything at all.
I've been studying Tai Chi for 10 years. It's a very spiritual discipline. I'm sure discipline of any sort isn't something that would appeal to you, Gabriel.
Just tell me anything at all.
My folks want me to get married to a boy back east, Mark Kobayashi. His parents are traditional Japanese too. I might eventually, but right now...
Just tell me anything at all.
I just got my master's.
And now she's repeating.
Nothing, I guess. Never mind.
Suit yourself.
Do you have messages for me?
Dana called, and Susie left a message about a lawsuit.
Awesome.
Lawsuit?
Okie dokie. There's more when you want them.
Do you have more messages for me?
Your grandmother called.
I keep meaning to get over there. What did she say? Did she sound good?
She sounded great, and we had a nice little chat about you.
Grace.
Don't worry. I didn't go into detail about your cardinal sins. Not that anything about you could surprise her. She adores you anyway.
She's my girl.
But she said to remind you to stop by and go through your father's things.
Okay. Do you have more messages for me?
Here's a strange one. You got a call from someone named Wolfgang Ritter? He said he was calling from Germany. He told me it was urgent, maybe you should give him a call.
Call Germany, like hell. If it's really important, he'll call back.
Well, fine. Let's just hope he's not with the German lottery for pitiful American authors.
Very specific lottery. I should actually add, since we have the score, which is Freddy Farkas' score sound, Maybe I should add all the twinkles and dings and melodies from getting points in the Sierra game. Just put them into a folder, and when you do the score, it'll play a random sound effect of whatever Sierra game it is. Like, they all have very unique ones when it comes to them. It's an idea.
Do you have more messages for me?
Your friend Detective Mosley called. Talkative, isn't he?
Especially with you. What do you want?
He left an interesting message. He told me to tell you that his mother's maiden name is Humphrey. Oh, that's Humphrey.
Fascinating.
And that he left some photos for you at the station. At the front desk.
It's about time.
Gabriel, those photos wouldn't have anything to do with the voodoo murders, would they?
No.
Now, why would you say something like that?
Because I know you. You're getting privileged information, aren't you? Did you tell him you'd put him in a new voodoo book?
A writer has certain obligation to his readers, you know.
Gabriel, you know you'll never put him in your book. Your main
he will.
character is a female orthodontist. You're gonna be reincarnated as a pit bull if you keep screwing with your karma.
As long as it's a male pit bull with a really big...
That's enough. Thanks. Anyway, that's all the messages. Thank God.
At least we know where Gabriel's mind is. Always. Four out of 342. The old desk is one Gabriel picked up near a dumpster. Not too shabby, huh? Well, okay, maybe it is. The latter provides access to the uppermost shelves of the bookcase. Gabriel plans to turn the balcony into a schmaltzy cafe, if he ever gets the cash. The books on the desk all need repair work. 3 snakes in a skull. Gabriel's father painted it.
What a wacky, offbeat kind of guy Daddy was.
It's an ashtray. Grace likes the little banker's lamp. She has the soul of an accountant. Gabriel looks at the cash register, checking for cobwebs. Cute gargoyle, eh? Grace keeps her art supplies here. Old medical reference texts are stored on an upper shelf. Real old. The books on the top shelf includes mysteries and other pulp novels from the 50s and 60s. There's a pair of tweezers on the counter. Grace uses them for book repair work. The magnifying glass is a handy item for reading old manuscripts or the fine print on Gabriel's lease. The books on the table have been chosen for their special appeal, recent fiction by the biggies. In other words, nothing written by Gabriel. St. George's books could use some serious renovation, but Gabriel likes to think that the place has character. The curtain doesn't provide much privacy, but Gabriel's rarely in his bedroom during shop hours anyway. Grace's coat is simple but classic trench coat. Gabriel hates people with good taste. The front door leads to Bourbon Street. Today's newspaper is on the counter. Blessed caffeine. The book rack contains cookbooks, true crime, and puzzle books. An inspired combination.
I'm gonna take the tweezers for a bit.
Good. You're beginning to look a little scruffy.
Just trying to make you feel at home.
Who's scruffy and looking?
Mind if I borrow the magnifying glass?
No, Sherlock. Just bring it back when we get the next estate shipment.
No problem.
Under the window are reference books, dictionaries, foreign language dictionaries, quotation books, and others. Gabriel borrows them often when he's writing. The books cannot be operated. Gabriel leaves through a German-English dictionary.
Let's see, Mittag means midday, noon.
The top shelf contains a set of German books that once belonged to Gabriel's grandfather.
If you try to look down my shirt one more time, I'm leaving.
Hell, just trying to refresh my memory.
I know what you're trying to refresh, and it isn't your memory. Get down.
Gabriel selects a volume of German poetry that he always found strangely compelling.
Drei Drachen. Drei Drachen kriechen in meinen Schlaf.
Where's
Die
Pest?
Ziele wollen sie lebendig zum Fraß. Feurigen Atems, gespaltener Zunge, genießen sie jedes Mal.
That's nice. Kinda creepy, though. Who's the author?
Heinz Ritter. I'm not sure what it says, but I get the feeling the guy was one sick puppy.
Yeah, I love learning about voodoo from this game too. Really fascinating stuff that they put into the game.
Spiel means game. Interesting. Himmel means heaven. Uh-huh. Drei means 3. Besessen means possessed. That's handy to know. Drachen means dragons. I wonder if Mosley would know he was being insulted if I called him Drachenbreath.
Probably not.
Let's see, Mittag means...
So the Drei Drachen means 3 dragons, the poem. That shelf holds used copies of Dime Strife series, Secrets of Unsolved the Ancient UFO Mysteries and such. They just leap out the door. The shelf contains historical references, biographies of kings and queens, that sort of thing. That shelf contains historical references. Top shelf contains books on animals, including snakes and other reptiles. Gabriel pulls down a book on snakes.
Snakes are legless reptiles. Some snakes kill their prey with poison, some by constriction. A snake smells by tasting the air with its forked tongue. The smells are passed back to a sense organ in the mouth. Constrictor snakes, however, sense their prey by vibration.
Did you know that medieval legends about dragons and giant worms are actually based on snakes? You know, dragons, devils, sea monsters, well, they've always been associated with snakes.
Grace, get alive.
Says the author. Gabriel would love to move his cash register to Nordstrom's. Gabriel opens the cash register to examine the take, or in the case of St. George's books, the mistake. The cash register contains about $20 in small bills and change. It's a gift certificate left over from yet another dismal failure of a promotion.
I guess you can live without
Hey,
this
Zambek.
old gift certificate.
Knock yourself out.
Times-Picayune, dated June 18, 1993. The front page has an article about the voodoo murders. The article says that the victims are all identified as members of the underworld. The general public of New Orleans is in no danger. Police claim the so-called voodoo trappings found at the crime scenes are fake, a scare tactic, and that the murderers are not associated with any genuine practitioners. Gabriel also scans the Aquarius horoscope for the day. Potential storms ahead. Proceed with caution and do not get involved with anything new at this time.
Right.
Let's go.
I'll be back later.
Have fun.
Man, this music is lame sounding, but it's not the MT-32.
Gabriel, I'm so glad you stopped by.
Sorry it's been a while, Grandma.
Not at all. Give us a kiss.
Give it a kiss.
Now
I didn't know
come
that
and sit
Grandma
down.
is a parrot.
Tell me how you're doing.
Would it be alright if I tried again to make it the sound work with the MT-32 because the music is so much better? Or at least try some other sound. You need to get Zelda on with his piano so he can do the music instead. That will work. I'll put up technical difficulties as I try to do this. Shouldn't take too long, because I have an idea on how to fix this. Because the MT-32 has worked with all the other games. If I get the MT-32 from those games, it might work with this. They all have the same files and they work just fine. Why aren't they working with this game? Conundrum. Alright, I could test a different audio. The music device. I think it's using the Windows MIDI. What if I did put it to AdLib? I wanted to low in the game. No, that's still AdLib. So that is AdLib. That's what I wanted. It is the Windows MIDI that it had to be. Not the NT32, and definitely not AdLib. On the wall are portraits of Gran and Gramps when they were young. Gabriel's inherited some good-looking G's.
That's my Gran. Adorable, as always.
Such a tease.
What? I can't hear you over the music!
That's my Gran. Adorable, as always.
You're such a tease.
Gabriel grew up in this room. Just being here makes him feel safe, and after about 5 minutes, claustrophobic. The wood in the bin is southern pine. It's probably fossilized by now. Gabriel Knight rarely uses the fireplace these days. Too much of a hassle to clean. Mostly pictures of Gabriel, his dad, and Harrison Knight. Granny has a way with plants. And kids. The double doors lead to Granny's front lawn. Granny's knitting. She whips through that stuff like there was no tomorrow. The sofa has a worn blue chintz pattern that Gabriel remembers fondly. Granny's side chair still has that annoying little spring in the seat. The magazines in the bin include issues of Southern Living, Ladies' Home Journal, and McCall's. Fresh carnations, Granny's favorite. That clock has been in the Wright family, Granny's family, for centuries. The stairs lead up to the attic. Granny likes soft lighting. Burp.
How you been, Gran?
Just fine, dear. I'm sorry I bothered you at work, but I was hoping you'd get a chance to go through your father's things in the attic.
Don't be silly. You can call me anytime. Are you okay, Gran?
I'm right as rain, boy.
Done anything interesting lately?
I raised you.
Lately, Gran.
Oh, you know me, Gabriel. I always got my nose poked into something.
It must run in the family. Are you okay? Can we talk, Gran?
Of course, my boy. How can I help?
Granistan.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Voodoo? What an odd question, Gabriel. Of course, you always were interested in monster movies and all that other weird stuff. You get that from your father and granddad. I don't know anything about it, dear. Of course, it was very big in New Orleans at one time, but you don't hear about it so much these days. Too much else in the world to worry about, I guess.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
New Orleans is very southern. Of course, though, not as much as it used to be when I was a girl. It's gotten much more influenced by the East Coast and that California stuff. Still, it hasn't changed as much as other places, I reckon. We've always been happy here.
Tell me about yourself.
Me? Oh, surely you have something more interesting to talk about.
Oh, come on, Gran.
All right, dear. What do you want to hear?
What do you do all day?
You know how I love to knit and work in my garden? I also take long walks. It's the only way to keep an old body like mine from stiffening up.
You're not old.
Oh, don't be foolish. I'm older than the hills.
Tell me about before you met Granddaddy.
Well, you know I was born Rebecca Wright. My daddy owned a lot of land outside of town. We grew peas, corn, cotton, all kinds of things. It was a good childhood, but my father was very strict. He didn't much let me out of his sight.
Tell me how you met Granddaddy.
I met Harrison at a church revival. There was a traveling preacher back then, a big fella named Reverend Jim. I even remember his slogan, "Come to me to find your way." Your granddad was sitting right behind me and my girlfriend Alma, and at one point, old Reverend Jim was flinging his hair around with his fire and brimstone annex, and a piece of it, one of those small add-on do's for men, went flying off. I swear, Harrison and I were the only ones that noticed. We both started laughing to beat the band. Everyone looked at us like we were a couple of loonies. It was then I knew that he was for me.
Specky, why are you getting so much fever these days? Is it bad weather in Greece?
How you feeling these days?
Fit as a fiddle, and don't you worry your head about it.
Just tell me anything at all.
I had your father when I was 22. The doctors told me I couldn't have any more after him, so I'm afraid I spoiled him rotten.
Just tell
Hey,
me
Mad Max.
anything at all.
I never loved any man but your grandfather, and I never will.
I hope it's not something else. That is just a contemporary fever.
Just tell me anything at all.
I hate to admit it, but I was a jealous little thing when your granddad and I were younger. I loved him so ferociously. And he did attract the eyes of the ladies, whether he wanted to or not.
I mean, it could be PMS, you know, the periodic male syndrome. Once you find out what that is, tell me.
Just tell me anything at all.
I get lonely sometimes, but I have lots of girlfriends in the neighborhood. I call one of them if I'm feeling blue.
Just tell me anything at all.
I wish you'd settle down and give me a great-grandchild.
Oh, Gran. Oh, nothing, never mind.
All right, dear.
You know, you get prettier every time I see you.
Oh, you.
Have you baked any of your incredible molasses pies lately?
No, dear. But you let me know when you want some, and I'll whip up half a dozen.
You've lost weight. Are you courting a new man?
Oh, Gabriel, don't be silly. You know there'll never be anyone but your granddad for me.
Your hair looks very pretty today, Gran.
Well, oh, why, thank you, dear. So does... you've always had such nice, thick hair, Gabriel.
Tell me about our family.
Who would you like to hear about? Your granddad, your father, or your mother?
Tell me something about Granddad.
Your granddad immigrated to America when he was 21. He worked his way through school, met and married me, and we had your father, Philip.
Tell me something about Granddad.
Your granddad supported me and your father with bookkeeping. I'll tell you what, though, he hated every minute of it. Didn't really like bookkeeping one bit. Maybe that was why he had the worst luck with jobs. The nights he'd come home afraid to tell me he'd lost another. And I would tell him. It didn't matter to me, but he felt ashamed, Gabriel.
Tell me something about Granddad.
Harrison was only 36 when he died. Your father was 8 years old at the time. Your granddad was hit by a streetcar in the business district.
Yikes.
Took me nearly a year to believe he was really gone.
I'm sorry, Gran.
I know you are, dear.
Tell me something about Granddad.
Did you know that your granddad was a poet? He was! He wrote the most beautiful poetry for me when we were courting. I always thought he should have done something with that gift. But he was such a practical man. Didn't believe in chasing after dreams.
Tell me something about Granddad.
I don't know what else to tell you, dear.
Tell me about my father.
Your father was my only child. How we adored him. Philip suffered from terrible nightmares, just like your granddad did. They were 2 peas in a pod.
Well, if you'd known, there would be a third one in the pod.
Tell me about my father.
When Philip met your mother, it was love at first sight. They were married 2 weeks later. Never looked at a girl seriously until then, and he looked at plenty. You have your father's way with women, Gabriel, and your granddad's.
Runs in the family, huh?
Tell me about my father.
I wanted to just lay down and die when he and your mother were killed in that car crash when you were only 8. It was the thought of taking care of you that kept me going, Gabriel. The police say your father swerved off the road after being frightened by something. Perhaps a deer in the road or a wild cat.
So his grandfather Harrison died at getting run over by a car when your son was 8 years old, and Gabriel's parents died in a car crash when he was 8 years old. Anybody sense a pattern? Somebody's after the Knight family.
Tell me about my father.
Your granddad wanted Philip to have a normal life. He was obsessed by that thought. He pushed Philip to go to law school. Philip was driven to art. He painted almost in a daze. He would get so inside himself when he worked.
That's usually how artists work.
Tell me about my father.
He always hated it that it was Margaret's money that supported the three of you when his painting couldn't. I kept telling him, try something more cheerful, like a landscape or two. But he couldn't do it. His work was just too dark and disturbing for the public, you know.
Tell me about...
I don't...
Tell me about...
Your mother was Margaret Templeton when your father met her. She came from a very wealthy Creole family in New Orleans.
Creole family?
Beautiful and reckless. She was madly in love with your father, of course, but I also think she liked defying her family. Since you're so interested in family history these days, why don't you go by St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 and visit the family tomb? It would be a sweet gesture.
Maybe I will. Tell me about my mother.
Your mother's family refused to give her money after the marriage. All she had left was a modest trust fund from her great-aunt, who happened to like Philip. The remainder of your mother's trust fund became yours when she died. That's what you used to open your bookshop.
Tell me about my mother.
The Templetons are all gone now. Every last one of them. They never wanted anything to do with us, of course. What a waste.
Tell me about my mother.
I don't know what...
You know, I always tell people that my gran is the prettiest grand old belle in the city.
Oh, dear. You shouldn't talk so.
I'm gonna go up to the attic, Gran.
Be careful of the dust.
Nah, the dust should be careful of us. Because we're gonna hoover up that shit. I don't know how we're gonna do it without a vacuum cleaner, but...
That must have been the year Granddaddy caught Santa on the roof.
It's an old, dusty bicycle tire. Grandma's attic is a storehouse of forgotten treasures and useless junk. Gabriel has seen these ornaments every year at Christmas for as long as he can remember. It's a lady's hat from the 1920s.
From Grand's Virginia Woolf period.
That tennis racket probably hasn't served a ball since the 40s. It's an old metal tub full of dust and cobwebs. There's a sketchbook on the chair that Gabriel vaguely remembers as his father's. That box of knickknacks has been up here for at least 5 years. The skylight lets a welcome sunlight into the attic. The old velvet curtains hung in the parlor before Gran lightened the place up. The brass bed frame is from God knows where. The old trunk looks like it's gone to hell and back. An elaborate mechanical clock, probably of German origin, is among the discarded treasures of the attic. It doesn't seem to be running at the moment. It's an old dressed dummy that Gran had in her sewing room years ago.
My first impression of the female form. I think I'd take Daddy's sketchbook with me.
Gabriel looks fondly at his father's sketchbook and charcoal pencil. The images haunt the pages of Philip Knight's sketchbook the way they must have haunted his mind. The images touch a deep chord in Gabriel. So familiar are they that he finds it hard to believe that they aren't from his own subconscious. The face of the clock is hand-painted. A ring of 6 symbols surrounds the face of the clock. A sword, a sun, an angel, a noose, an eclipse, and a dragon. A key winds the clock's mechanism. There's an interesting design in the base of the clock. Nothing happens.
Granddaddy, you old fox.
Drei Drachen. The photo, probably at least 50 years old, shows two young men standing with an older man outside a castle.
I wonder who they are.
It's an old letter on fancy paper. Why move that part of the clock? The back of the photo has the following written on it. Schloss Ritter, 1925. The old photograph shows Gabriel's grandfather with two other men that Gabriel has not identified. The letter is written in German and Gabriel determines what he can about it. It was sent from a place called Schloss Ritter in Rittersberg, West Germany. The letter is addressed to mein Sohn Heinz and signed Willem Ritter. One of the reoccurring words strewn throughout the letter is the word Schattenjäger. The only other thing that Gabriel can decipher about the letter is a sense of urgency in the handwriting and in the heavy use of a quill tip, bold strokes, and underlining. The letter is addressed to Heinz Ritter, whoever that is.
That's it. Take a load off, hon.
Can we talk, Gran?
Of course, my boy. How can I help?
Have you ever heard of a Schattenjäger?
Schattenjäger? Schattenjäger? How odd, Gabriel. I haven't heard that word in years. My goodness, you've given me a chill. Your granddad used to say that sometimes in his sleep.
Really? Do you know what it means?
No, I'm afraid not. I asked him about it once. I don't think he answered me. Odd.
Thanks, Gran.
No, this was made 10 years after it. This is from 93. I'm sure the letter was sent like in the 70s. Or maybe 60s. Probably 70s. So the wall would have still been up. Or it could be later. I mean, if it was sent for Heinz Ritter... I mean, it really doesn't tell when it was sent. I mean, the game takes place 4 years after the fall. And I think that letter must have been sent 20 years before, so it would have been 23. I think.
Do you know anyone named Heinz Ritter?
Heinz Ritter? Oh, Gabriel. Where did you hear that name?
I found a letter in Granddaddy's clock.
I promised I'd never tell you or your father. But I suppose it doesn't matter now.
Tell me, Gran.
Your granddad's name was Heinz Ritter before he came to America. He changed it to Harrison Knight legally when he arrived.
So the Drei Drachen poem that we read is made by Gabriel's grandfather.
Why did Granddad change his name?
I don't know. I tried to ask him about his family, his life before America, but he didn't want to talk about it. Never even told me about his name change. I found out one day when I saw his passport in a drawer, since he obviously found it painful. I never questioned him about it. But I'm sure it wasn't trouble with the law. Your granddad was the best man I ever knew.
November 9th to be precise. Alright.
Didn't Granddad ever say anything about his past or his family?
Only that his family was crazy, and that he never wanted to see them again. He believed in some family curse, thought that he could spare Philip and Philip's children from what he called old nightmares. Whatever Harrison wanted to spare you, though, it cost him plenty. He never did sleep well, and he would often get a far-away, guilty look in his eyes. He was wrestling with something he thought he should be doing, someplace he thought he ought to be. I don't know how he could think that he should be anywhere but with me and our child. It's a terrible way to live.
Do you know anything else about Heinz Ritter?
I've told you.
What if I show her this?
Does this mean anything to you, Gran?
That one in the middle is your grandfather. Those other two I don't know.
Well, Gran, I better get going.
All right, dear.
Back to the French Quarter. Let's go meet Detective Mosley. And also Jim Cummings. Gabriel is standing in the lobby of his friend Mosley's precinct. It smells like a cross between a hospital and a brewery. Nice coat rack. It's an antique umbrella stand. With probably an antique umbrella. The door opens to Conti Street. The ceiling-high windows are unchanged elements of this renovated French Quarter building. Gabriel can't read the bulletin board from where he's standing. There's a temperature gauge on the wall near Mosley's office. It's in a locked cage. They must be concerned about the budget. And the uniformed officer of the NOPD.
She's not bad.
The desk sergeant looks like a poster boy for heart disease. 30 extra pounds between his armpits and his belt, and a complexion of consistency of grey oatmeal. In other words, a typical product of good southern cooking.
She's not bad.
There's a photocopy machine in the office area. The official seal of the New Orleans Police Department highlights the tile floor. A swinging door connects the lobby and office areas. The bench in the lobby has been well polished by a million backsides.
Hey, nice precinct.
Think so? That's peachy. That means more to me than you could know. Hey, it's a beignet guy.
Great, I'm starved.
Stay put, you. Hey, grab me 3, would ya?
Sure.
Of course he would go for 3. Why wouldn't he?
Thanks.
Kinda quiet in here today.
Yeah, summer's like that. It's too muggy to mug. Too hot to heft.
How clever.
It's a gift.
A beignet vendor has stopped outside the police station. He must do great business here, I would imagine.
Got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I'll tell you, I'm glad as hell it's not Mardi Gras. If it weren't for that 1 month a year, being a cop in New Orleans would be a real pleasure. As it is, I'd rather stick behind this desk.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Me? Nothing. I'm a Catholic boy.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
I'm not allowed to give out information on police cases.
You know, it's so easy to recognize Jim Cummings' voice when you've heard it for years in different media. I mean, right here we're listening to Tigger, Minsk, Peter from Goof Troop, and millions of other voices, especially Darkwing Duck.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
Can't say that I have, but it sounds dirty.
Tell me about yourself.
Who, me? I'm the Desk Sergeant Frick. Why?
Frick?
That's right.
And
You
Winnie
got
the
a
Pooh, yeah.
problem with that?
He's both.
Not at all. I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's out of the crime scene. Sorry.
Where is the crime scene? Is it related to the voodoo murders?
Crime scene information is police confidential. We don't need any more looky-loos than are probably already there.
I was supposed to pick up some photos from Detective Mosley at the front desk.
Is that right? And who are you?
My name is Knight. Gabriel Knight.
Yeah. I got something for you, all right. As soon as you're done talking, I'll give it to you.
Why does he make it sound like it's a threat?
Here's that envelope for you, Gabriel Knight.
Thanks.
Must be a really boring day if you need to threaten the citizens with your attitude. The envelope from Mosley is a plain manila one. It feels pretty light. The envelope has Gabriel's name written on it, misspelled. Gabriel opens the manila envelope and finds 2 photographs. One of the photos from Mosley's an official voodoo murders crime scene shot, a graphic close-up of a victim. The photograph of Mosley was apparently taken upon his graduation from the police academy. He had hair then. The photo of Mosley reads "Cup Nerd" to Gabriel's eyes. The murder photo has nothing written on it.
Does this mean anything to you?
It's a police academy graduation photo. What of it?
Just checking.
Would anything happen if I showed him a photo of the voodoo murders?
Does this mean anything to you?
Hey, where'd you get that?
Nowhere.
Well, you shouldn't have that. Put it away before I decide to keep it.
Yes, sir.
No repercussions, alright? It really is a slow day if the cop won't even arrest me for having an official photo of a crime scene. Now to do one of the convoluted puzzles in the game. Finding the crime scene. That was a great music. Not the cathedral. I mean, it's good music in here. Very nice and peaceful. Gabriel can't do anything with the chancel. The chancel of the St. Louis Cathedral consists of a raised dais, an altar, 2 pedestals, and a choir area. The St. Louis Cathedral has a beautiful chapel, warm with tones of gold and cream, and rich with delicate frescoes and meticulously carved wood. That door must lead to the priest's side of the confessionals. Current confessionals are a subtle, old-fashioned presence on the left of the nave. Rows of pews line each side of the nave's aisle. Flags of the world are displayed from the upper story, a promotion of universal harmony, no doubt. At least the cherubs are an aesthetic way of asking for donations. There's an inconspicuous door near the chancel. I don't see no Finland, though. Or Denmark. Or any other than the UK from Europe. People seem to be enjoying the park, despite the lack of sunshine. Jackson Square is a good place to rest while exploring the French Quarter and a great place to be entertained by local performers. A bronze statue of Andrew Jackson marks the center of Jackson Square. A lone drummer beats out a haunting rhythm on a large African drum. Iron lampposts add charm to Jackson Square and provide illumination at night. Give a hoot, don't pollute. A blues band entertains on the lawn. Now that's music. The band is too into their music to talk to Gabriel. Yet the park visitors are enjoying their leisure and aren't interested in talking to Gabriel.
Homicide team attend.
A police officer is either off duty or patrolling the park. Or both. A cop has driven his motorcycle into the park, something Gabriel would probably never get away with. On the motorcycle is a police radio. Has anyone seen Joe?
Good day, officer.
Yeah, you too. Keep moving.
Rude.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Not now, buddy. I'm busy.
I should have noticed that. Thanks.
Rude. Yeah, right.
Ambulance to now.
Yeah, he's super busy with being busy with nothing. That jazz band is pretty good. Of course, most jazz bands in New Orleans are. The band isn't paying any attention to Gabriel. A Cajun band, inventive as always with their instruments, is having a good old time on the lawn. Funny how catchy that toe tapping can be.
Geek. You want to eat my fist?
Wasn't that mime somewhere else a minute ago?
Stop following me.
Oh, look at that. He's dancing.
Better them than me.
Knock it off, you. If I shove this washboard down your throat, yeah.
I think there's some kind of an Easter egg that if I make the mime follow Gabriel enough, he actually will punch him.
white-faced geek. You want to eat my fist?
Ah, he's doing mammy.
Y'all gonna get it if y'all keep at that.
Uh-huh. Racist shit. It's one of those mimes. Oh boy. How many times he's gonna harass that guy?
You white-faced geek. You want to eat my fist?
Hey, stop picking on me! I'll tell my dad!
Don't remember if he does anything with the drummer. Nope.
Homicide team attend.
Ah, this isn't doing the same shtick as with the other band.
Oh man, go bother somebody else, dude.
Ambulance to now.
That wouldn't work on the mime. He seems to have a mind of his own. That wouldn't work on the mime. It seems that Gabriel has already done that. Interrogating a mime would be an exercise in frustration.
Stop following me. Stop. Stop. Stop following me. Stop following. Stop. 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 Stop following me.
There we go. Tell him long enough to stop following me and Gabriel will punch him. It doesn't do anything. He's still annoying.
Knock it off, you. If I shove this washboard down your throat, yeah.
Now let's do the real thing. Now that I finally punched the freaking asshole. Time to get you into real trouble. There we go.
Hey,
Cut that out. I told you to stop that.
And there he goes.
All right, mister. You want some of this?
Gabriel picks up the headset and listens.
Ambulance 911, have you located the crime scene? They've radioed for you 3 times.
Damn! Did you say it was north of the Lake Retreat Country Club?
South. Lakeside Drive north of Piedmont Pier, south of the country club.
Man, I don't know if it's the clouds out here today or what. Good thing this guy's already dead.
Everyone's having trouble. Must have been hallucinogens in the coffee this morning.
It's just so misty out here or something. Hey, I see a squad car. Got it, Molly.
Thank God. Have a good one, 911.
Interesting.
Stupid mime. Hey, you! Get away from that bike.
Sorry.
Just admiring the works. Alright, now we know we're at the crime scene. The crime scene team is still at the site. Gabriel parks a bit out of the way and walks over to avoid adding to the general confusion.
Hey, mostly.
Huh? Knight, you wiener, I told you not to call me that.
Feeling jumpy?
Who, me? Don't be stupid. How'd you find me?
Oh, I was just driving by.
Mm-hmm. Well, for the book. But don't tell anyone I let you see this, huh? It's another one, as you can see. Same M.O. and no frickin' clues. We're still waiting on an ID for the body.
That's disgusting. Isn't this a rather, public area for this kind of thing?
Yeah, they're frickin' ghosts, these guys. Lakeshore Drive isn't exactly the 10 Expressway, but it is open to the public. No reports of nothing. Now, who the hell is that?
Oh my.
Good day, Miss Getty.
What's going on, officer?
Detective Mosley, ma'am. We've got a little problem here, but nothing for you to be concerned about, Miss Getty.
I see. Thank you, detective. And good day, gentlemen.
Whoa, I'm in love.
Forget it. That's Molly Getty. She's about as far out of your reach as the moon. Probably on her way to meet some guy with a yacht right now.
Near here?
The lake's a popular place for country clubs.
If she's out here a lot, maybe she saw something or heard something.
Man, nobody ever sees or hears nothing. I told you.
So somebody
Besides,
hears
you
something.
Just don't go around
Or
bothering
sees
people
something.
like her.
We've about wrapped it up, sir. It's another clean sweep.
Yeah, let's get the meat wagon moving then.
Do you want to leave an officer here, sir?
Nah, just leave the tape up for a few days.
Yes, sir. If you'll excuse us, sir, we'll take him away.
Stick around and take notes for the book if you want. Watch out for the muck in the water moccasins, though. I'll be back at the station. Stop by if you want to go over the case some more.
Thanks.
Time for us to be CSI. There seems to be a pattern onto the lines in the sand. But if there is a pattern, it's smeared. There's only one small area that's clearly defined.
Let me try to get this down.
The grass has a matted appearance here. There are marks in the grass as though some heavy wire object had been set there. With magnification, the marks in the grass are clearer. The marks are actually deep indentations in a regular mesh pattern. Something small and iridescent is barely visible among the indentations. It looks like a scale of some sort. Gabriel carefully uses the tweezers to take the small iridescent scale.
I think it's a snake scale, but it beats the hell out of me what kind.
The banks of Lake Pontchartrain are rich with clay deposits.
Is that clay? Yuck.
Alright. That's all that we can do around here. Let's go talk to our friend. Since we didn't get to talk to Mosley.
Hey, nice.
Think so?
Got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
Do you know anything about snakes?
What does this look like? A zoo? Never mind, don't answer that. No, I don't know nothing about no snakes.
So you know something about no snakes, or you know nothing about snakes, or you don't know something about snakes. Don't go triple negative on me, man. It's confusing.
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's in his office. Go on back.
Looking good, kid.
Gabriel scans the bulletin board and sees a lot of bad photograph and worse writing.
Hey, Mostly.
Knight, come on in.
Mosley's office looks a lot like his room at college. Lots of unsolved cases, perhaps. Mosley must have a million of them. Art prints of the ball variety. Mosley's bookcase holds old magazines and binders. An intercom. How high-tech. Mosley's office looks like his room. Most of the desk has more growing on it than his head. A microwave. If Gabriel knows Mosley, it's used exclusively for frozen corn dogs. Police department memos and other didactic blurbs. That's funny. That window is a mirror on the other side. Mosley was one of those beefy guys in his youth. Now he's getting lumpy. The badge in his front coat pocket is set off particularly well by the gold polyester of his jacket. Mosley's phone. Nice polyester. Looks like something Mosley keeps around for floorball occasions.
Who's that?
Frank's. What a babe, huh?
So, how's it hanging, bud?
Lousy. I hate crime scenes. People are sick fucks. You know that, Knight?
I'm starting to get that impression. You been feeling okay lately? You look like hell.
Me? You know, I can't sleep at night, what with thinking about the case and thinking about Annie.
I can relate. Played any b-ball lately?
Does it look like it? I'm so out of shape I'd probably have a coronary just looking at a ball.
I'm out of it too. We should play sometime. Get back into shape.
Man, I'd love to, Knight. I'll let you know if things ever settle down.
Anything else new?
Just work. Sorry I don't have more time to chat, bud.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
You're right.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
There's voodoo that goes on in this city, sure. I looked into it a bit at the beginning of this case. But the voodoo stuff found at the crime scenes is all faked. It doesn't have anything to do with the real stuff. I know. I asked some experts. It's intimidation tactics, that's all.
What can you tell?
I told you.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Lots. Can you be more specific?
Do you know anything about the killers?
At least 20 people attend the killings. We know this from the variety of footprints found at the scenes.
Footprints? Aren't those as good as fingerprints?
Can be. But we'd have to have a suspect in custody first. And the suspect would have to match one of the few distinct prints we have. Most of the footprints are smudged, trodden over, unreadable. These guys are so casual in their expertise, it's maddening. Like they know we'll never find them.
How many murders have there been so far?
7 murders have so far been linked to the voodoo murders case. Now, the first murder occurred about 8 weeks ago. The M.O. was the same in each murder. Lake Pontchartrain was the 7th.
7 murders in 8 weeks. Almost 1 per week.
What kind of evidence have you found?
No fingerprints. A few bare footprints. Found a few fibers, but not many. The weirdest one was leopard fur.
Leopard fur? Describe the crime scenes.
Well, there's the corpse itself, minus the heart. Around where the body was killed, we find marks and flour and blood. There are traces of wax from candles, red and black. Ordinary wax candles, so the lab reports. Also blood and feathers of chickens. Also goat's blood. And plenty of the victim's own, of course.
So plenty of blood.
What's the coroner say?
The victim's heart is always ripped out of the chest and missing. We haven't located a single one of them.
Lovely. Any idea what they do with them?
Don't even want to know. Also, the coroner says some of the victims had heart attacks before the incision. Literally scared to death. The knife wounds are consistent with a long, narrow, wavy-edged knife. Probably a ritualistic dagger.
A Chris, as you would call it.
Any witnesses?
Nope. There's never been a single witness. No one's even heard a disturbance. It's damned weird. Like they just don't want people to see, and so nobody sees nothing.
Know anything about the victims?
The victims are all out-of-towners. We still don't know why.
Can we ask Mosley if he knows anything about the 4 voodoo? I wish we could. It would be nice to see if he knows. I just wanted to look at the book to see how Gabriel gets into the crime scene. In the book, he does the same thing. Gets the mime to follow him and takes the mime to the cop. And then he listens to the radio. So the puzzles are in the book as well.
Oh, nothing, never mind.
Sure, no problem.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
You and me grew up together, you tell me. It's a pretty nice place, even seeing the stuff I see. You know, the quarter's getting a bit too wild, though. Getting hard to control. Not quite what it was when you and me used to hang here, but hell, I've never known anything else.
I'm sure some people got it. And also, those who do not get it, mostly here is played by Luke Skywalker, or if you prefer voice acting, then the Joker from Batman animated series. Mark Hamill himself.
Do you know anything about snakes?
The only thing I know about snakes is I don't like them.
And when you listen closely, if you have heard Mark Hamill's voice a lot, then you recognize him.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
No. Ha! Is that anything like a Chuck Yeager?
I don't think there's any relation.
Yeah, it's exactly the same as Chuck Yeager.
What's the status on the voodoo murders case?
It's going. Can't seem to make any progress, though. Sluggish damn cases.
Hey, Tonley Geek. Been a while.
Have you ever called the hair club for men?
I'd rather have no hair than your hair, Knight.
I mean, he's not that bald. He's balding, but not bald.
Tell me about yourself.
For the book?
Sure, why not?
Okay, what do you want to know?
How'd you like working on the police force?
Are you kidding? You know I love being a cop. In New Orleans, it's the best place in the world to be one.
You know, in the talkie version of King's Quest 6, they had these portraits with the mouth moving to show that they were talking. They really hadn't perfected it in that one, but here, the lip syncing is so well done, and the animation is so damn good.
What are your plans for the future?
Well, you know, I don't like to count my chickens before they're hatched, but I don't see why I can't be the chief of police in New Orleans someday. I already know the mayor, and my record is one of the best in the department.
I'm sure it's just a matter of moments, mostly.
Yeah, you'll see.
I wonder if Sierra was the first one to do this kind of animation as well, with the lip syncing. Because a lot of developers for their own games followed the same pattern, that if there was a portrait, the mouse would move. Can't remember.
Got any hobbies?
Yeah, making your life miserable.
I'm serious. Don't you shoot or chew or something like that?
No, I'm a freaking ballet dancer. Jeez. Yeah, I was #1 at the Louisiana State Fair Marksman Contest. I play trumpet, too. You know, put your lips together and blow.
Cool to know that he's a marksman.
How's your home life?
Oh, real funny, Knight. Why don't you just bring in some freaking salt? Well, you know Andy left me. My home life is shit.
Right. Sorry about that. Just tell me anything at all.
Remember how we used to play monkey in the middle? We used to piss off our senior year teacher. What was her name? Ms. McKelly? You'd act like you were gonna toss her an eraser or something, then you'd throw it to me over her head. And we used to do it at your grand's, too. Like with the remote when she wanted to watch your soaps.
Yep, and it was a great way to pick up women in the library hall. Oh, those were the days. Oh, nothing, never mind.
It's your dime.
So how'd you ever find anything in this office? It looks like ground zero.
Hey, I get my job done. I'm a detective, not Betty Crocker.
Trying for a real estate job with that coat?
No. Are you trying out for a janitorial job with that hair?
I mean, it ain't no Roger Wilco. He's better.
Are those new shoes? What are those, hush puppies? Kind of a mud brown suede kind of a thing?
Hey, I'm on my feet all day, all right? Is that okay with you?
Mostly. I'm being perfectly sincere.
Yeah, you and my grandmother. Right.
Do you know anything about the patterns around the bodies?
Yeah, weird, huh? All 7 victims had those little marks around. We got all the marks on file, but we haven't figured out what, if anything, they mean.
Can I see the other 6 patterns?
Sure. People like that kind of stuff, don't they? Might make the book seem more mysterious. But go talk to Officer Franks. Tell her I said you can see the file.
Excuse me, officer.
Yes?
So, what's it like being a policewoman?
The glamour never ceases.
Excuse me, officer.
Yes?
Can you get a file for me?
What file would that be?
The voodoo murders file? Detective Mosley said I could see it.
Really? Well, if he said so.
Should you go ask Mosley that you can give those to a civilian?
There it is. You can look at it all you want, but don't leave this area with it, okay? And no photocopies either, I'm afraid.
Of course. I understand completely.
The police file contains partial patterns from the first 6 voodoo murders. It's the official police file containing the partial patterns from the voodoo murders. The folder is marked with a warning, do not to leave the police station. Gabriel's carrying a lump of clay from the banks of Lake Pontchartrain.
I'm done.
Yeah, thanks.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
I got those photographs you left for me.
Really? Great. What'd you think?
Astonishingly lifelike.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Got any more ideas for photos for the book?
A cop author photo might be nice.
You and me? Together?
Why not? Of course, you'll have to try to tone down your masculinity.
Well, okay. I'll call the police photographer.
Take your time, Mostly.
Franks, come here a minute, would you? Bring your camera.
Anytime, Mr. Sloth.
What did you need, Detective Mosley?
We need a picture, please. And make it a good one, huh, sweetheart?
Sure, sweetheart.
No respect.
say chintzy.
Was there anything else, Knight?
Hold on a sec while I go check my hair.
Good God, Knight, make it fast.
Pinch that.
Let me see that file again.
And yoink.
Just want to check this machine here.
Subtle. There, Gabriel. Subtle.
Would you just get in here? Hurry up, would you?
Okay, ready.
Thanks, hon. Let me know when you got it developed. The photo, that is.
Yeah, sure.
I think that might take months before she does anything with the photos. I'll see you around.
Hit the road.
Mm-hmm.
Later, Knight.
Yeah, see you around mostly. Historical Voodoo Museum, here we come.
Hi. Look around all you want.
Okay, thanks.
The Historical Voodoo Museum is bringing with items authentic and original. A street robber has settled outside the museum. A wooden doll with horns is on the back table.
Looks like Jack Nicholson.
The back wall displays various voodoo items such as a poster advertising a voodoo tour of the city, winter, summer. A gaudy shell necklace, a feathered African mask, an anatomically correct voodoo doll with pins strategically placed.
Now, why does that remind me of Grace? Now, he's got more hair than Mosley. Reminds me of a book critic for the New York Times.
Flickering candles lend an appropriately spooky atmosphere to the museum. A very large, very formidable-looking snake is secured in a plexiglass cage. An authentic-looking pole marks the center of the room. Authentic what? Gabriel isn't sure. An official voodoo wishing stump. Rub it and make a wish. A card says.
Funny, I say the same thing to women.
Gabriel. A counter at the back displays brochures and a donations basket. She looks thrilled to be here. Large elaborate drums occupy a quarter of the museum. It's an electrical switch. A balcony surrounds the room on the second level. It's close to the public. On the table is a small coffin, so small in fact that it would only fit an infant.
Charming.
Something about the shape of that knife gives Gabriel the creeps. Even if that were for sale, Gabriel couldn't afford it.
I wish Malia Getty was permanently grafted to my thighs.
What kind of wish is that? A bad one, that's for sure.
I wish my voodoo book hits the bestseller lists.
He might get that wish.
I wish my publisher would actually promote one up my novels for a change.
Isn't that what the publisher should do?
I wish I had something better to rub than this stupid stump. I wish Grace were as hot as she looks. I wish my voodoo book hits the bestseller lists. I wish I had something better to rub than this stupid stump. Dang, I've always wanted a skeleton with a bowl on its head.
Well, there's one for you right now.
This coffin is so small. Interesting.
Cute, isn't it?
Adorable. Do you know anything about it?
Afraid not.
Let's talk to the lady.
So, how's the museum business?
I don't know. I don't normally work here.
Could I ask you a few questions?
I wouldn't be much help. You should talk to Dr. John, the owner. He'll be back tomorrow.
I see. Thank you.
Alright. A striking portrait of a turbaned woman is on the back wall. Gabriel wonders who she might be. Well, since Dr. John is not here, might as well go to
I'll be gone now, thanks.
So long.
Might as well go to the other place that Grace told us to go to. The Dixieland drugstore.
Hi.
Uh-huh. The sign says, Special St. John's Eve Lanyap. Free bottle of Lover Come Back to Me oil or Master Gambling oil with every purchase over $50.
Lanyap. My French is lousy, but everyone in New Orleans knows what that means. A little something extra.
Small bags made of felt and flannel hang from the ceiling.
Those are gris-gris. They're full of magic. No guarantees, though, you know.
Well, it depends on what kind of magic you want the gris-gris to be about. Ropes of garlic hang from the ceiling.
I'll know where to come if I ever have a vampire problem.
Then why didn't you come back here in the third game? Voodoo and Hoodoo. The craft that's revealed by traditional practitioners by Jim Haskins. Available at Dixieland Drugstore and other fine stores. The dust on those boxes is older than Gabriel. The Dixieland Drugstore is cramped from top to bottom with its strange merchandise, some or all of which seems to be related to the practice of voodoo. The entire shelf is stocked with containers of High John the Conqueror root powder. A variety of cloth dolls are arranged above the shelf, each impaled with a single silver pin. The poster reads, Power will be yours when you use Papa Leg Buzz Power Draining Incense and Master Power Oil. Buy some today! It's a mannequin wearing a crocodile mask. The mask appears to be made from a real crocodile head. In this case are super concentrated fixing oils and packages of pins.
Lodestone powder. 5-finger grass. Something tells me I'm not in Kansas anymore.
Root bags, curio boxes, and magic candles. Sold as curios only, we cannot guarantee results. Herbal oils for love, luck, power, and success. The sign says potion ingredients. These jars must be for do-it-yourselfers. The sign says power items. The shelf holds containers of dried items, flowers, grasses, and black cat bones. The glass jars contain a number of things Gabriel can't identify.
Want to?
The proprietor doesn't look especially friendly. His business probably doesn't depend on walkings.
Hi there. Is this your store?
This is the Dixieland Drugstore, and I own it, me. Name's Walker. Willie Walker.
Mind if I ask you a few questions?
Ask what you want. I'll answer what I want.
Can you tell me what you know about voodoo?
This is a novelty shop, monsieur.
Do you think I'm stupid? This is a voodoo shop. Look at all this stuff.
These are novelties. curiosities. If people want to think they're magic, it's not my concern, you know.
Are you telling me that you own a voodoo shop, but you know nothing about voodoo practices?
Ça fait n'est pas affaire blanche.
What does that mean?
Means you should mind your own business, monsieur. Look, I don't have your answers, B. Do you want to buy something, monsieur?
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Gabriel Knight.
What did you say?
Nothing. Those killings have nothing to do with my shop, monsieur.
Capri Sancour.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I've lived here all my life, me.
What can you...
I'm a busy man, monsieur.
What do you...
Monsieur.
Do you know anything about snakes?
What kind of snakes?
The kind they use in voodoo?
Pythons and boas. So I've heard.
Really? Do you have one?
Are you crazy? What would I want with a python?
Sell it? Since you're a curiosity shop?
Do you know anything about snakes?
I've already told you everything I know.
It's so great that it's been a very cloudy day with some rain in the morning, and now the sun is shining. A bit sweaty in here. I'll be right back. I'm gonna open up the freaking window so I can breathe. Looks like all the clouds are gone. It's clear. Clear skies out there now. How are you guys enjoying the game? Enjoying it as much as I am? Because I really enjoy Gabriel Knight games. They're so damn good.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
It's the biggest night of the year in voodoo.
What goes on exactly?
I couldn't say.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
I've said all...
You sell things for St. John's Eve and you have no idea what it is. You're not really much of a voodoo store now, are you?
What did you mean when you said Cabri sans corps?
I didn't say that.
You did. I heard you say it.
You heard wrong, monsieur. I said no such thing.
Of course you didn't.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
Man, I don't even know what language that is.
German.
Tell me about yourself.
My name's Willie Walker. I own the place.
Tell me about yourself. How did you get into this kind of business?
Why should I discuss my business with you, man?
Because we're curious?
Look at the voodoo paraphernalia around the body in the photograph. Are you sure you can't tell me anything about it?
No, I don't know anything about it. Nothing.
Well, he got angry. Might as well head home. There ain't anything else to do today.
Hey, Grace. Here I am.
Oh, joy.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
St. John's Eve? Never heard of it. It must be a local custom. New Orleans love any excuse to celebrate.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Doing a family tree, Gabriel?
Very funny. I mean real snakes. You know, scaly, cold-blooded. I would have thought you'd find them empathetic.
Mm-hmm. I know very little about reptiles of any kind and prefer to keep it that way. I think there's a book on snakes around here somewhere, though.
Okay, thanks. Do you know what caprice encore means?
No. Sounds French, though.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
No. Is that a voodoo word?
I don't think so. It's German.
No, but it has a nice ring, doesn't it? Schottenjäger.
Could you do some research for me?
Sure. What?
Could you see what you can find out about a woman named Malia Getty?
The name Getty sounds familiar. What's your interest in her?
Oh, just, you know, stuff about the voodoo murders. If you could get an address...
They're murders. Right. I'll see what I can find out. Anything else?
I can't think of anything.
Okay. Well... it's about closing time.
So it is. Good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gabriel. And try not to dream, okay?
You don't really control if you don't dream or do. It just happens. Same dream as before. Lady in fire turns into a leopard. There's the medallion. With blood on it now. A hanging man this time. That looks like Gabriel. More to the dream than before. Day 2. A mask I wore as I approached. I was what I am not. And though the pattern was unclear, its meaning could be bought.
Good morning. Don't you look swell today? Actually, swollen.
Oh.
So have some. There's a fresh pot on the table. Seriously, you look like hell. Your hair is sticking straight up like a... Oh, it always does that. Never mind.
Ha ha.
Did you dream about the fire and the hang guy and that lion thing last night?
Leopard, not lion. Did you get anything on Malia Getty?
Well, I did get her address, but you're a little out of your league here, big fella. The Gettys own 3 local hospitals, just to name a few of their assets. They run in very high circles.
Did you get an address?
I got the address. I suppose this has nothing to do with the fact that Malia Getty is incredibly gorgeous. I should have known you wouldn't go for a rich, ugly socialite.
And that address is...
Hey! Far be it from me to postpone your total humiliation. It's 557 West England. That's a garden district, a state city.
That's all I wanted to know. And yes, my dear, Malia Getty is the most dangerous-looking diversion I've ever seen. Ouch!
Oy, men.
Indeed. Oi. Times Picayune dated June 19th, 1993. A front-page article describes the most recent of the voodoo murders. Gabriel scans it, but learns nothing new. The article reiterates that the voodoo aspect of the crimes is faked. Gabriel shivers. It looked real enough to him. Elsewhere, there's an article about the history of Jackson Square. Called La Plaza d'Armand under French rule, it was used for executions, firing squads, hangings, even impalement and breaking on the wheel. Yikes. Of course, these days it's mostly a hangout for tourists, street musicians and local artists. Gabriel also scans the Aquarius horoscope for the day. Chances of a dark star rising on this day. Do not trust your instinct.
I feel a dark star rising, all right.
Do test ASAP. Is said for my usual issue can be, but must rule it out. Yeah, it has to be ruled out in case it could be something more serious, and hopefully not. Why have I never called that Gabriel is Aquarius like me? Yes. They never really reveal his birthday, like the date, but here we can. Like, we can get the month, mostly, him being an Aquarius. This is the last page of inventory. If I recall, it's somewhere between January 20th and February 18th.
Got some things I need to do.
Don't hurry back on my account.
So he's born in January or February. But as far as I know, because it's 1993, and I think I know what age he is, he's born in 1960. At least I think so. Could be wrong that he's 33 years old. I mean, he could be 30. Or maybe even younger. I actually don't know Gabriel Knight's age at all. He's never said anywhere. I don't see any dates here. Yeah, there's no dates or anything even in the book right from the get-go, so no idea how old Gabriel Knight really is. The electrician has left his tools behind. He must plan on returning. There's a temperature gauge on the wall near Mosley's office. The security cage has been removed by the electrician.
I'm here.
He's in his...
Get up. What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
Bunch of crazies out there on St. John's Eve, that's what. We're busy all night.
Really? What kind of crazies?
Your usual howl at the mooners, I guess. They don't look no weirder than them that comes in during Mardi Gras. Never can tell, though.
I mean, the only way I know that he would be born in 1960 is because of the family curse. That's how I know. So that's how I remember that he is 33 years old. Born in 1960.
Do you know what Caprice encore means?
Can't say that I do.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I told you I didn't.
Mostly my man.
It's you, God help me.
Mostly my man.
Hey, there sure are a lot of skeletons in here. Quick,
Are there?
pull the head off one and stick me on top of the spine. Oh, please.
Yeah, I have a skeleton in my closet. Literally. Actually 2 now, because I bought one for Halloween. Hey, Medic Finland. Hyvää iltaa. Hello, Raiders. What were you up to? Games plus demos? Could be anything. In Blood of the Sacred, Blood of the Damned, his passport says 28th of January 1963, so here he would be 30 years old then. Hello, Eva Sato. Hello. I played through Freddy Farkas, and the next game on the list was Gabriel Knight, one of my favorite series. Destroyer Burger. So a new game. Alright, I've never heard of it. But then again, I don't follow news about new games at all, so... Whenever there's a new game coming out, I have no idea about it. No idea. Yep, I'm gonna go do something else before I talk to Mostly here.
I'm gonna hit the road.
Ciao, baby.
Ciao, baby. A burger making life sim. Huh. What are those? I wonder how many of those even fast food simulators there are. Plenty. But welcome, Raiders. My name, if you don't know me, I'm Spider-Man. I play lots of different games, be it old or new. And Monday has been, for a long time, Monday has been my Sierra gaming night. I've been playing the Sierra adventure games in order of release. And this has been a lot of fun. And we're also getting close to the end of the list. Actually, I should check. Just out of curiosity, how many games do we have left after this? 10. Only 10 games. Plus, you started doing well. I even got a new one just the other day. This is my newest one. It's not a mimic. This is not a mimic. It has tiny legs. It should be tons of legs there and not just the 12 that it has. Correct. Correct, medic. This is luggage. The sapient pair wood luggage. I can't put any luggage in. I feel adorable. Yeah, even people apparently. I'm still reading Mort. I have my first Discworld books. The first one I bought is Mort, and I'm still reading. And the other two that I bought are Guards, and Equal Rights. Zelda is an expert of these books because he's read them many times, and he recommended me these books to get them for the first time ever reading. I've never read any Discworld book, so these are my first time ever, and Mort is really fun. I'm really liking it. It's all because I played through all the Discworld games, and Zelda was there to help me out to explain all the lore and references that were in the games. Which was a lot of fun to learn more about the world of Discworld. All the people and the names that he heard there, and all the other countries and all that are in Discworld. But it's nice to see another Discworld fan. The luggage, contrary to what people think, is not a mimic. It can't turn into other things. It will forever stay a chest with hundreds of little legs. Yep. The garden district is famous for its elaborate old plantation homes and mansions. This particular mansion is impeccably groomed. The huge trees bear beards of Spanish moss. Potted roses mark the entrance to the house. Tall, narrow shutters provide beauty and protection. It's a brass door knocker. The front door of the Getty mansion looks unusually solid and heavy. Broad steps lead from the walk to the door. Perfectly groomed hedges run along the front of the porch.
May I help you?
Isn't it nice that it's Tim Curry speaking with Tim Curry? They wanted Tim Curry to voice the butler as his style as what was his name? He was the butler in the Clue movie. That's also the name of Codsworth. That's where in Fallout 3 you have Codsworth, and 4, of course, the Mr. Handy, who has that English posh style of speaking, and it's actually a reference to Tim Curry in Clue. And this is Tim Curry as Gabriel Knight talking to Tim Curry, the butler.
I'd like to see Malia Getty, please. I'm sorry, but unless you have an appointment or official business, I cannot announce you. I have a fine selection of magazine subscriptions for sale. We do not welcome solicitors.
You would get 2 for the price of 1. Alright, we need to find a way to get inside the Gideon estate. And what better way than being a cop? Because we never introduced ourselves to Malia Getty when she was at the crime scene. So how does she not know that we're a cop or not?
What can I do? He's in his...
Thank you, Jim Cummings. When I've been reading more, I noticed that there's been a lot of sentences taken from the book that they used in the games, especially in Discworld Noir. It has lots of the same things that are said in the book, which I find really funny. I mean, it's Terry Pratchett wrote the games too, from afar. I bought most of the paperbacks last year from Tori. Ah. I got a gift card to Suomalainen kirjakauppa from one of my aunts, so I bought these books from there.
Detective Mosley. Hard at work, I see.
It's you, God help me.
There, Mosley has a hat. I mean, the gift card was for the place, so that's where I had to get the books. So, now I have 3.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
You're the writer. You're the writer. Ask away.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
That's coming up, isn't it? We get some occasional weirdness in the quarter, but nothing much. Used to have a lot of strange things happen, though, or so I hear.
How about getting me some coffee?
Coffee? You want coffee?
Should that surprise you?
Nah, you've always been a caffeine addict. It's just that what we got here hardly qualifies.
So, I'm desperate.
It's your stomach. I'll get you some when we're done talking.
That long?
All right, I'll go now.
I did this wrong.
Don't touch
Or digrade.
while I'm gone.
Still, somehow I got the points for it. But I did it in the wrong sequence. I needed to do something else first. Here he comes to ruin my day.
Here, drink it.
If it's drinkable.
Thanks. I'll let you get back to it.
Have a good one.
I'll be back in 2 seconds. Let's do a little bit of a trick here. Let's turn on the heat, shall we? Bum 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 bum.
It's hot in here. Dang, the air conditioning must be on the blink.
Well, then complain it to the electrician who was working on
hot? Man, I'm hot.
No, she's hot. Mosley's coat is on the chair. His match is in the front coat pocket.
Can I ask you? How about getting me some coffee?
What am I, your slave?
Hey, I'm working my butt off here.
Yeah, fine.
You should. That's what I'm playing. It's on GOG. I love the Gabriel Knight series.
Never satisfied.
One of my favorites on of the Sierra games. And yoink. Scum VM. You can play it on DOSBox easily.
Just borrow this badge.
Hey, what are you doing with my coat?
Nothing. I thought I saw something crawling on it.
Just drink this.
Thanks. Tons. I mean it.
Gabriel is carrying Mosley's badge. Also, the cast in the game is fantastic. We got Tim Curry as Gabriel Knight. We got Mark Hamill, aka Luke Skywalker or the Joker, as Mosley here. Then there's Leah Remini as Grace. Michael Dorn is in the game, aka Worf. Or Marcus, if you're thinking of Fallout. Star Trek would be Worf. Also, Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. I mean, there's a lot of big names. Jim Cummings, he's also in the game. He plays a lot of small roles, but his biggest role in the game is right there, Desk Sergeant Frick. You can easily tell it's Jim Cummings as soon as you talk to him.
Can I bother you again, officer?
What is it this time?
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
What is it with you? I said no.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
Best food in the world. You can get it right here in New Orleans. Muffaletta sandwiches. Beignets. Good Cajun coffee. Yep. Man can die happy in this city.
Now that we got the Mosley's badge on loan, we can finally go and meet with Malia, the woman that Gabriel Knight has fallen for.
May I help you? I'd like to see Malia Getty, please. I'm sorry, but unless you have an appointment or official business, I cannot announce you. I do have official business. Really? Please tell me the nature of your business. My name is Detective Mosley. I'm here on police business. Really? How interesting. Wait here. I'll inform Miss Giddy.
I will wait here with
Miss
anticipation.
Giddy will see you. Right this way.
Patient.
Miss Getty will be down shortly. Thank you.
And I will wait here with anticipation.
What can I do for you, Detective?
All right there, Dr. Frankenfurter. Glad somebody got it.
Beautiful women. They must be relatives.
They are.
Modern art?
More or less. It's a Picasso.
I didn't remember that Picasso did sculptures.
Nice statue, I like it.
Thank you. It's The Rebellious Slave by Michelangelo.
Genuine lion skin.
I can imagine doing things on that road.
Excuse me?
Oh, nothing.
And it's a white lion, so it's Kimba. Harvard classics, Homer, Virgil. Maybe Malia wouldn't be impressed by a signed copy of one of Gabriel's novels.
Undoubtedly proves that there is a God.
Roses and gardenias give the air a sweet taint.
Romantic.
I like firelight, Detective.
You like firelight? Then you might have a ghost if it blows the candle out.
This is quite a place.
Thank you. It's been in the family a long time.
Done anything exciting lately?
I'm sorry, but I'm very busy. Can we get to the point?
Mind if I ask you a few questions, Miss Getty?
I assume that's what you're here for, Detective.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Voodoo? Why would you want to know about that, Detective? It's rather silly, isn't it?
There's nothing silly about the voodoo murders.
But that voodoo is faked. That's what I've read in the papers.
That's what the papers say, all right.
But you're not convinced?
No, frankly, I'm not. The police department isn't known for its imagination.
Oh. Well, I can see that your imagination is considerable.
I thought you were saying, "Do you like that? Do you like that?" What kind of guy that you are? People gonna walk in and see you rude? Do you like that? What kind of guy that you are?
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The murders? Only what I read in the papers.
And what do you read in the papers?
I'm sure you know much more about it than I, Detective.
Have you seen one of their newest videos of Zelda? They're playing Minish Cap. Aaron has invented a new word in Minish Cap. You want to know what the word is? I think it's in part 2 where he starts saying it. The word is yas. Yas. According to him, it is spelled G-A-W. Yas. Yas. They can't, even Dan just can't stop saying it. It's like the end of the video, like from the midpoint to the end, they're just saying yas everywhere. It's like, whew, so funny. You really should watch the Minish Cap videos too. Peter, what is this? It's one of those moments. Just random shit.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I'm afraid I quite abhor them.
Abhor them, you say?
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I believe it's some sort of local holiday, but I don't know much about it.
Do you have any idea what Cabri Saint-Gare means?
No, I don't. What does it mean, Detective?
That's confidential information, ma'am.
Pyhä Jussin aatto eli juhannus. Mistä me nyt puhutaan? Niin, Pyhä Jussin aatto, joo. No ei kylläkään oo, kun nää on tällä hetkellä... Mikäs tässä oli menossa? Venaas hetki, onko se juhannus? Joo, tää on kesäkuussa tapahtuu. Se on melkein juhannus. Muistaakseni se on tämän pelin mukaan se on kesäkuun 20. tai 20. päivä, milloin toi Pyhä Jussin aatto tapahtuu. Ei, se on melkein juhannus. Milloin juhannus on? Mä oon ihan koko ajan unohtanut. Eikö se ole yleensä heinäkuussa? Onks mä ihan koko ajan kahvilla nyt? Mä oon ihan pihalla näistä asioista aina. Nämä juhlapäivät on mulle ihan niinku... Mutta ainakin kun tää on New Orleansissa, no kesäkuussa se on aina. Noniin, elikkä toi on sitten juhannus, elikkä torille. Kyllä, ehdottomasti.
What do you know about the voodoo?
The murders? Only what I read in the papers.
And what do you read in the papers?
I'm sure you know much more about...
No se on just silloin, missä tässä pelissäkin toi tapahtuu. Eikö se ole juhannus? Se on Pyhä Jussi aatto. Mitä helvettiä? Ja Orleansissa vietetään juhannusta? Miksi meitä ei kutsuttu sinne? Sitten voi olla Mardi Gras ja juhannus samaan aikaan. Saatana. Mekin halutaan tissejä, eikö venas? Kun juhannus, niin varmasti näkee tissejä tarpeeksi. Kun vaan löytää oikein paikkaan, missä on hyvä meininki, niin varmasti löytyy. Siellä ei kyllä helmiä noita nauhoja saa, mutta siellä ei ole mitään väliä.
Tell me about yourself.
I suppose I don't really have a choice. What do you want to know, Detective?
What kind of things interest you?
I don't have a lot of free time, but I do appreciate the arts. Opera, symphony, ballet, fine art. If you look around, you'll see that we collect African art, for example.
Yes, it's very beautiful.
It is, Detective. It means a great deal to me.
Do you have a career?
A career? Being the head of the Getty family is a 24-hour-a-day job. We have many holdings and many responsibilities, financial and otherwise. The management of our business affairs and properties leaves me with time for little else.
Poor little rich girl?
Believe it or not, Detective, wealth does have its price.
As in not having much time for a social life. At least not the way that she would like it.
Tell me about your family.
The Gettys? We're a very private family.
How many people are there in your family?
Well, my mother just passed away.
I am sorry.
So am I. She was a magnificent woman. We were very close. I was an only child.
And your father?
I never knew him.
It's hard to believe that any man would leave a woman like you. Or like your mother must have been.
He did not leave, Detective. But that's really none of your concern.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Something
Go on.
else may have happened
There
to
are,
him.
of course, other Gettys in the city. I have a large, extended family.
I see.
Connecting the chat. And welcome to the chat room. Thank you, Twitch, for welcoming me to my own chat room.
Do you have a husband? A boyfriend?
I'm very independent, Detective. The women in my family have always preferred it that way.
So, you've never been married?
No, and I never will be.
What about children?
Yes, that is likely. Someday.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
I do a lot of charity work around the city, primarily in the prison and reform system. I'm not a professional sociologist, but it does interest me.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
I have a business degree from Vanderbilt. I wanted to study psychology, but my family's interests came first.
Oh? Why not something like law, then? Surely that would have been an asset to the family.
Law? Please, I do have some morals, Detective.
I wouldn't know where to begin.
As you wish, Detective.
Can you tell me anything about what happened out at the lake?
I wish I could, but I've never seen or heard anything unusual at the lake, and I do spend quite a bit of time out there.
Can you tell me...
I wish I could, but I've never seen or...
Tell me about your...
The Getty family came to New Orleans in 1800. We worked very hard to get where we are. On the other hand, we've done a lot for this community.
I can believe that. You're doing a lot for me right now. Tell me more about New Orleans.
I'm afraid I don't get out into New Orleans society much. Because of the Getty money, we have slots in the best country clubs and on the best Mardi Gras courts. But I must admit, I hate it. I avoid actually making an appearance unless it becomes absolutely necessary.
I know about those courts. They're very exclusive.
Yes, especially when it comes to people of my race. That's why we don't turn down the appointments. It's a rare opportunity to rub their noses in it.
Ah.
But that's not where I spend my time. I have more important things to do with my life.
That's admirable. Many women would love the chance to get caught up in that kind of life.
I'm not any kind of woman you might be familiar with.
Yes, I can see that.
She's a strong, independent woman who don't need no man.
Excuse me, but your eyes are really distracting. I don't think I've ever seen a color quite like that. Brownish gold. It's so deep and rich. Man, if I could bottle that, I'd make a fortune.
Thank you, Detective. That's an interesting observation, though probably not relevant to your case.
A good detective never knows what might be relevant, Miss Getty.
Then you must be truly exceptional at your job. I think this has gone on long enough. You're not really a detective, are you?
Who, me? Well, I am on this case, Miss Getty.
I saw you at the lake yesterday. I thought you must be with the police since you were there, but you don't act like a police officer. Besides, I'm rather certain that the other man said his name was Mosley.
All right, you caught me. I'm not with the police. My name is Gabriel Knight. I'm a writer working with Detective Mosley on a book.
Well, Mr. Knight, now that we've established who you are, perhaps you can tell me the real reason you're here.
Well, I am researching the book, and I thought you might have seen or heard something at the lake.
I don't like liars, Mr. Knight.
Okay, you're right. I really just wanted to see you again. You can be mad at me if you want, but I swear I've never done anything like this before.
Mr. Knight, you've lied about your identity and wasted my time with meaningless questions. If it weren't vaguely flattering, I'd really be angry. You're lucky I don't call the real police. I think you should go, Mr. Knight.
Malia, wait. If you just give me a chance.
I've wasted enough time. I'll have Robert show you out. Robert? Show Mr. Knight out, please.
I most certainly will.
Thank
Tall
you
guy,
very
that Robert.
much. I had a lovely time. Ah, shit.
You can only blame yourself. Being a creep. Ah. The juggler looks like a beginner practicing his act. Why be rude to the artist? An artist is taking advantage of the fine weather.
Nice drawing of the cathedral.
Thanks.
It's really precise.
Well, I'm an architectural student, actually. It's good practice. Hey, come back here. Hey! Oh, unbelievable. Rotten luck.
There's a drawing caught up against the hedges. Gabriel can't reach the drawing from where he is. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. A small boy is tap dancing enthusiastically for a lucky dog vendor. The vendor ignores him. The lucky dog vendor has his nose buried in a paperback novel. Gabriel notices that it is not a big surprise, but it is. A lucky dog vendor has set up business in the square. Interrogating the little boy wouldn't be very useful.
You dance pretty well for a kid.
Give me some money then.
I don't have any.
Don't block the view, mister.
You do requests?
Got any money?
No.
Something to eat?
No.
There you have it. No.
Could I get a lucky dog, please?
Not now, I'm busy.
An unambitious person in the 90s? Amazing.
Hello, are you selling lucky dogs or not?
The vendor ignores Gabriel entirely. Well, let's draw his attention since he likes to read books.
I have this gift certificate.
I'm busy.
It's good for $20 at St. George's Books, finest bookstore in New Orleans.
Really? I'll have to check it out sometime.
You could take this gift certificate with you, if you'll give me a lucky dog.
A lucky dog for a $20 gift certificate? Well, sure. Here you go.
The lucky dog is plump and juicy. Can I open it? Although the mustard is teasingly poured into a pattern-like shape, Gabriel's eyes can make no sense of it.
You wouldn't like a lucky dog by any chance.
Would I? Thanks, mister. You got any special requests, let me know.
You mentioned something about special requests?
Yeah. You got one?
Can you do the Nutcracker Suite in D minor?
Can you do the Nutcracker Suite in D minor?
Say what?
Oh, never mind. How about When the Saints Go Marching In?
Sure. Hey guys, Saints!
You got it, kid.
That was great. Thanks.
No problem, mister.
Can you fit through the bars around the statue?
Can I? Just watch me.
Good. There's something in there I can't quite reach. Come on. Can you reach that piece of paper?
Sure thing. Here you go.
Thanks, kid.
Yep. See ya.
A budding entrepreneur right there. It's a technical drawing of Saint Louis Cathedral. There's nothing written on the drawing.
This belongs to you, doesn't it?
My drawing? How'd you get it?
Oh, it was a bit of a squeeze, but I hate to see you lose your work. I lost my only copy of a manuscript once.
Well, you saved my butt. Let me know if I can ever do the same for you, huh?
Well, since you say so.
Say, do you think there's anything you can do with these patterns?
What do you need?
Is there any way you can reconstruct the whole pattern from these partials?
Pattern is probably circular, and there's some repetition in the elements. What is this from, anyway?
You'd never believe me.
Okie dokie. Well, there's... I think there's an area missing. If you could get me any more of these...
I'll see what I can do. I have another one of those patterns.
See, really? Back.
Let's see. Yeah, this is great. I think there's enough overlap now. I'll give it my best shot. I'll show you what I come up with tomorrow.
Great. I appreciate it.
Blim, 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 blim. Now it's time to go talk to Dr. Michael Dorn. Dr. Worf. Marcus. I mean, Dr. John.
Welcome, my friend.
Hello.
I am the proprietor, Dr. John. If you have any questions, I will be happy to assist.
Great. My name is Knight, and I'll probably take you up on that.
Greetings, Lieutenant Worf.
This is quite a place you have here.
Hey, Microman.
I have dedicated myself to the preservation of this unique culture. It is gratifying to see others reap the fruits I have sown.
So where'd you pick up all this stuff?
Oh, here and there. We accept donations of any pertinent items.
A beaded gourd is on display.
Could I ask you some questions?
That is why I am here.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Historical voodoo? Or the voodoo currently practiced in the city?
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Historical?
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The killings in the newspaper? I know that they have nothing to do with true voodoo in New Orleans.
Every time you say that, my mind wants to hear it as dwarf. You have no idea how many times I called him dwarf the first time I watched TNG. Hey, he's a rega. Indeed, it is him. I mean, he's also here.
What do you think of New Orleans?
It is the only city in the United States as far as I am concerned.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Ah, you have perhaps noticed the museum's
One Piece.
They are beautiful creatures, do you not agree? And the tourists seem to associate them with voodoo.
And police knots. Huh? I think I had a demo of police knots. I think. Don't remember if I did.
What is it about New Orleans that you so admire?
It has a real culture of its own, Mr. Knight, amid the horrid blandness that is Americana. New Orleans alone has a voice.
Spoken like a true New Orleanian. Do you have anything else to say about New Orleans?
I have already given you my opinion, Mr. Knight.
I'm thinking of a different game than Police Knots. I've seen the poster of Police Knots. It's in Metal Gear. Metal Gear Solid, I think. as opposed to a police nut.
Is the snake yours? Do you use it in your practice of voodoo?
I admire the spirit of the snake, Mr. Knight. But snakes like the museums can be quite dangerous to handle.
You didn't really answer my question.
I think I did, Mr. Knight.
Yeah, that's what I remember too. That's why there's a poster of it in the Metal Gear Solid. A lot of people don't notice it, but it is only in one place, and it's in the office where you find Otacon and fight Grey Fox, or the ninja, cyber ninja.
Do you have anything else to say about New Orleans?
I have.
I'd really like to.
There is really no.
What makes you think the voodoo murders aren't being done by local practitioners?
Voodoo is a popular boogeyman, Mr. Knight, especially in New Orleans.
Boogeyman!
Anyone can pretend to use it, just as anyone can pretend to be a black belt in karate, and for the same reason, to intimidate. I know voodoo in this city, Mr. Knight, and believe me, it is not about killing. Even the police have stated that the killings have nothing to do with local voodoo.
So, you know...
I neither know nor care to know, Mr. Knight. My only possible interest is in how it might affect the public's attitude towards the museum. So far, it has not been an issue. No one has even had the bad taste to bring it up. Until you, that is.
You're welcome. We're here to make you uncomfortable. Yeah, I was thinking that he was also the director in Snatcher. Yeah, the other game that he made. Along with Police Nuts. I mean, Snatcher has references in a lot of places. There's also in one of Kojima's other games, Metal Gear Solid 4. Hey, son. Somebody's really going wild on that Guiro. Voodoo karate is a rare talent, though. Just roundhousing those dolls.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
It is one of the important ceremonial nights in voodoo.
What else can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I am afraid I do not know the origins of St. John's Eve. I only know that it was a night of ritual long before voodoo came to New Orleans.
Trying to remember which Sega it was on. Not sure if it was a Sega CD game. It could have been Mega Drive, Genesis. I think it was Sega CD, yeah.
What else can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I am afraid.
Do you have any idea what Caprice Saint-Gall means?
I fear my French is not all it should be, Mr.
Shredder's Revenge on your phone. I have Shredder's Revenge on Steam. Oh wait, the Shredder's Revenge. Is that an old game? I don't think it's that old. No, it's not Shredder's Revenge that I have. Old looking game. It's a, isn't it a, you can have 4 people at the same time, beat 'em up. Very cartoony. Like they went with the old school style of Turtles in Time and the coin op. Yeah. I'm sure I have that game on Steam. I played it a little bit. Yeah, Shredder's Revenge. Yep. And apparently I have Turtles the Cowabunga collection. I have no recollection of getting that game. But I do have Shredder's Revenge. I played it only for 23 minutes, but it was actually a lot of fun. Good old arcade game. It's like playing the classic ones. They got the same feel. I should play it on stream at some point. Just for fun.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
No, I have not.
Tell me about yourself.
Me?
Yes, if you don't mind.
What is it you wish to learn?
Not to mention adding its own new style to it. Like the way you fight and all.
Why did you open a voodoo museum?
The subject has fascinated me all my life, and I wanted to help preserve the cultural heritage it represents.
What kind of background in voodoo do you have?
Let us say that I cut my teeth on it, Mr. Knight. It is in my blood.
It is. It is a multiplayer game.
Do you do anything besides run the museum?
No. The museum does not make me a rich man, but my material needs are simple. I prefer to focus on my one true interest in life.
What are your own religious beliefs?
My beliefs are too personal and too complex to discuss with a layman, Mr. Knight.
Actually, I can't think of a thing.
Then, let us discuss something else.
Yeah, how about we finally ask about him about voodoo?
Tell me about historical voodoo.
Very well. I will start at the beginning, Mr. Knight, and will go on from there at your prompting.
Sounds good.
As you may know, voodoo is a grassroots religion formed by the mixing together of many different African tribal religions and Anglo religions, such as Catholicism or Protestantism. In other words, it is a religion born of the African slave trade, but African slaves were imported not only by the United States, but also into the West Indies where the French and Spanish ran plantation islands. Prior to 1803, the New Orleans area was owned by France. The French Creole in those days owned many African slaves, but the Creole did not permit their slaves to gather, giving no chance for voodoo to breed here natively.
The Creole also knew enough about the corrupted pagan practices of the West Indies slaves to ban the importing of slaves from that region.
Your voice changed there in the end. Same here, Goblin. I played the arcades, I watched the cartoons, I watched the movies. Big Turtles fan here. I even had some of the toys. I had... What did I have? I think I had Leonardo and... No, Leonardo and Michelangelo. Those two from the toys. In the 80s. When the cartoon show was a big hit. I mean, I also had He-Man toys and at least one Transformer. My favorite turtle? Michelangelo, because he's a party dude! Yeah, he's always the funniest. I like him. And why wasn't it Mikey? It is Mikey! Mikey is my favorite! Mikey is the best! He's a party dude! Nunchucks! A fellow chucker, eh? Hey Donnie! Wheel of Fortune, dude! One of those games that I want to get simply because it hits some nostalgia that I love, despite never having played the original or having a relationship to the Turtles like some do. I think if you have ever played Zelda, any kind of beat-em-up game, you would like Shredder's Revenge, because it's a really fun game to play. I remember playing the Amiga version of TMNT and being left slightly disappointed as it just didn't stand up to the arcade version. It was a completely different game. Yeah, the Amiga version is not good. Favorite in the game is always Donatello because of the high reach of his weapon. Everybody loves Donatello in the games because of the reach. For me, though, when it comes to Turtles in Time, Raphael, he was the fastest. Even though he had the shortest range, he was the fastest. He was fun to play as. I especially remember when I got it down that I could do, like, when you're fighting a boss, you can do a short jump and then quickly do like a jump kick. And once you have landed, you can jump up again and do the kick the other way, so you could actually soft lock. Like soft lock the boss between your kicks. So if you get the rhythm going, you can easily win the boss. Just going bam, 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 bam. And I got that rhythm down with Raphael. But Michelangelo is fun to play in the games as well, because it's Mikey. He's the best. Because like I said, Mikey is the party dude. Would you believe I only recently found out there was an actual arcade version of TMNT for the Amiga and the ZX Spectrum? I feel like I lost out there back in the day.
So, how did voodoo come to New Orleans?
After the Louisiana Purchase, American legislators relaxed
So who wants to talk
regulations.
more about turtles?
Slaves were permitted to gather. The Americans also removed the ban on West Indies slaves. Around the same time, a slave revolt occurred in Santo Domingo, what is now Haiti. Between the lifting of the ban and the Haitian revolt, West Indies slaves began pouring into New Orleans. Some of them were free people of color, freed or escaped slaves. Some came with their white
he's got a
owners who
tiny
were
hat.
fleeing from the revolt.
What happened when the West Indies slaves got here?
They brought voodoo with them. The native slaves were more than enthusiastic about embracing it. It gave them power, Mr. Knight, if only in the form of a communal bond. Among the first meeting places were the Bayou St. John and the shore of Lake Pontchartrain. The early voodoos were heavy snake worshippers, worshipping the one they called the Great Zombie.
I mean, at this rate, it will be only 3 players. And still, I would feel like a Zelda would get lost in all the mayhem, because beat-em-ups are a lot of action. And if there's multiple players, you would lose yourself in there. It has happened to me. In the past, it happened to me, but, you know, now I know how to focus. I could get lost playing it solo. Yeah, because there's so much happening in a beat 'em up. There's so many enemies, so many things to do. It's understandable.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
By 1817, the voodoo activities were beginning to cause fear among the white slave owners. An ordinance was passed
I already know all this
forbids
voodoo
slave
stuff. I don't
gatherings
need to hear
except
this.
in designated public areas at designated times. The time was Sunday afternoons and the place, Congo Square. The slaves and free people of color gathered to dance simulations of their voodoo dances right in sight of Creole society. Of course, they also continued to meet in private for the real thing.
The real thing. The real thing.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
There were a variety of kings and queens at first, voodoo priests and priestesses. But from about 1830, a single power emerged. This was a voodoo queen named Marie Laveau.
Uh-huh.
Marie Laveau ruled voodoo in New Orleans for many years.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
I've given you as much detail as...
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
There were actually two Marie Laveaux, mother and daughter.
Mother
Most
and
people
daughter.
thought they were the same woman. Her continued youth added to the mystique. The original, the mother, was also known as Widow Paris. It was she that began the empire. When the Widow Paris
I thought it was the
began
word
to
Palpatine.
practice, there were many voodooans in the city. By 1830, she was voodoo queen of all New Orleans.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
The Widow Paris was a hairdresser for rich Creole ladies. She also paid household servants to spy for her. Between the two, she knew everything about everyone who mattered in New Orleans. She was not above using her information to appear psychic, to intimidate, or even to blackmail.
You sound as though you admire her.
For a black woman in the mid-1800s to gain power is an incredible thing, Mr. Knight. However she achieved it.
Yep.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
She kept a pet snake, danced with it too. She held traditional voodoo ceremonies out by the lake. She
Like the
took herself
murders.
seriously. Very seriously. But she was not above selling tickets for her events to curiosity seekers. She was not above using voodoo any way she could to make money. That is for certain. But if she had been in another line of work, in another age, that would have been interpreted as entrepreneurial genius rather than a sign of fraudulence.
Hey, you don't need to convince me. I admire anyone that can actually make a living. Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
It was Marie Laveau who defined the voodoo that is truly and uniquely the voodoo of New Orleans. She invented hundreds, if not thousands of spells, potions, charms, and incantations. These form the basis of the modern practice, not to mention the folk tradition of voodoo.
How long have we been talking about voodoo here with him? Probably like 40 minutes, maybe even more. 50 minutes, almost an hour. He has a lot to tell. There's a lot of history to voodoo.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
Her daughter, Marie Glapion, took over when the Widow Paris got old.
Glapion.
Most people thought it was the same Marie Laveau. Both Maries encouraged that point of view. The Widow Paris died in 1881. Marie Glapion had been reigning a long time by then. After the death of the Widow Paris, other voodoo queens surfaced, and by 1890, the cult was fragmented again. Marie Glapion just sort of faded away.
Yes, Dr. Jean Exposé.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
The Laveau tomb, where one or both of the Maries are believed to be buried, is in St. Louis Cemetery number 1.
That's where Gabriel's parents
are.
are.
It is a popular shrine for practitioners and tourists alike. I myself take tours through the cemetery on a regular basis.
Really? Do you have any running this week?
No, but the cemetery is open to the general public as well.
Tell me about current voodoo.
Many people think of voodoo in terms of magic spells or gree-gree. That kind of practice is actually called hoodoo, and is only a part of true voodoo. Voodoo, the religion, has a strong following in New Orleans. In fact, It is growing quite rapidly. There are several voodoo churches or temples in the city, and others all across the United States.
Can you tell us where they are?
African Americans see it as a tradition all their own. Whites, and there are many in their religion, are attracted to it because they think it is exotic.
Most exotic.
Personally am more interested in the history of voodoo. Some of the new movements are copying Haitian or even African voodoo. But it is the voodoo of New Orleans that I find so intriguing.
Can't fight it anymore, I'm tired. Not tired of him talking, I'm just tired.
Tell me more about current voodoo.
There are many voodooians in New Orleans. They often do business selling gree-gree, telling fortunes, providing luck, and occasionally misfortune. Perhaps you would like to meet a voodooian. We refer those who seek a deeper experience with voodoo to a local practitioner, Magentia Moonbeam.
Sure, I'd love to meet her.
She lives on the corner of Orleans and Dauphine. I will call her and tell her you might stop by.
Great, thanks. Is there anything else I should know about voodoo?
Not if your interest is primarily in voodoo. Hoodoo is of interest to those who study rural folk traditions,
Voodoo,
but it will
voodoo,
not aid
bitch.
you in understanding true voodoo.
Voodoo, you voodoo, bitch. Sometimes I wonder if people get my references at all. I do make lots of obscure references every now and then.
Is there anything else I should know about voodoo?
Not if your interest is primarily in voodoo. Hoodoo is of interest to...
bitch! Exactly.
So, how...
Those who truly seek understanding are few, Mr. Knight. But even one can be an audience.
That's
yep.
true.
Sounds about like my shop.
Alright, we're out of here.
I'll be going.
Goodbye, Mr. Knight.
Phew. That was a lot of chatter. Where to go next? Cemetery. That would be the best place. An old man tends the cemetery with movements akin to a slow drawl. Let's save the game here. Talking about voodoo, bitch.